We each threw in $5,000, scraped it. I took a 60 grand a year pay cut, 6 months for free, and then a year he worked like for pennies on the dollar. I worked the front desk, the office, cleaned everything all by myself for 6 months. Like, it is true entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
It was tough. We grinded. Helping business owners is just a different type of feeling. I had a guy, one of our owners, 2 weeks ago called me and said, "Hey, Josh, I just want to say thank you." He's like, "We just hired another staff member. I'm now able to only work 2 days a week and be with my family the rest of the time."
Yeah.
It's because of OptimizeU. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit podcast. What we do on this podcast is bring guests from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life to share their journey and everything along the way that led them to where they're at today. Real conversations, raw emotion, and the kind of human connection that can't be faked. We're here to make an impact, and that is what we do. So if that is for you, like, subscribe, all those amazing things. And if that is not for you, I don't know what your problem is, but it's time to jump on board today. Thank you. But without further ado, I would love to introduce today's guest, Mr. Josh Hudson.
Thank you.
Dude,
It's great being here, man. Appreciate it.
Great to have you, my friend. Josh and I met down the hallway, just in passing for a moment.
Stalked you on Facebook.
Yes, he stalked me quite a bit. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. But I think we connected through Messenger, back Hurricane Helene. Lost contact there. I was, wearing a lot of hats at the time. But it's cool to see things circle back around.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to meet you since then.
Small world.
But it is a small world, man. And even this community in like Brentwood, Nashville, like all the people we're tied in with, is very well connected. And yeah, it is a small world.
Great place.
Great place.
Looks great here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's cool because I'm like alongside people that are like, it's just that alignment piece. Like I've been talking about nonstop, like all working towards similar goals together. So it's a beautiful opportunity, man. I love being here. Shout out to Vanessa and Terry, B2 Sweets. They're awesome. But let's go into you. So You're the owner of OptimizeU.
So one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple partners.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what exactly is that? Just briefly.
So OptimizeU is a place for men and women to go get their hormones looked at.
Yeah.
And performance recovery, so cold therapy, sauna, depression. But ultimately, we're looking at hormones and fixing them and optimizing them.
How do you enjoy that?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't get to do that aspect as much as I used to, and so I miss that a little bit. But entrepreneurship, we talked about that earlier. Entrepreneurship is extremely addictive.
It is.
And so it's you get one clinic open and then another one, and then you're looking at other business opportunities, and it's a big rolling ball down a hill. It's hard to stop. And so
you could come to me with a corporate hookup for like this much money, and I'd be like, nah, because I know I can trust myself to make things happen. But also it goes to that addicted piece. Like you get so fired up about tackling new opportunities. If it's someone brings something to the table, I'm like, never done it before, but I'm head first, and I'm going to figure it out and do my best at it.
Yeah, we brought my wife on about 4 years ago. She's our COO, and she's helped me say no. Otherwise, it was always, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm very good at saying we'll figure it out. Yeah. And just keep moving forward.
Yeah, man. I've had to learn how to say no.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel you there. Funny enough, my wife said to be like, Joe, you don't have to say yes to everything.
Yes.
So it's good to have women in our life that check us.
Yeah.
Because they see it.
Yeah.
They see us pushing ourselves to limits. It's like, hey, maybe you don't need to cross this threshold, right? So outside of that, Josh, what does life look like for you today?
That is my life today.
Yeah.
People always say there's a work-life balance. I don't know if I always agree with the work-life balance thing. I enjoy work. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And to me, work is everything. It's from doing research on things so you're up to date. I've been doing so much research on AI. And bringing that into the healthcare field right now.
Yeah.
That's still a part of work.
Yeah.
So I am not the best at saying there should be a work-life balance as an entrepreneur. I just love to work.
It's how people look at work-life balance.
Right.
So they think that balance is supposed to be 50-50.
Yeah.
I think you just create that balance and what works for you. So for me, like for you, for example, like that plate may be heavy work, but if you can still balance it out with all the other stuff, like, does this make sense?
It does.
It just, whatever works for you. If you feel that you're working too much, okay, maybe the balance is off.
Yeah. That hour of gym that I do every day, I work out every day. I shouldn't, but I do. And that hour helps me keep that 70% work.
Yeah.
And then my weekends, I'm on the boat working on my phone, but getting out on the water,
That's your
Kentucky
thing?
Lake, I love it. I love it. My wife and I go up every weekend almost. And just being out on the water is it's just great for me.
See, so you got those things that kind of keep everything evened out.
Keep that stress down just a little bit.
You said you're feeling the itch to slow down a little bit. What does that actually feel like to you?
Oh, geez.
Because you're wired to build, man.
Yeah, I think it's more less build on my own is where I kind of see that going, is that itch to slow down is, all right, let's bring in that team to really help keep everything moving forward.
Yeah.
Spending more time in Florida on the ocean, like, again, the water's my safe place.
You're a beach guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the beach, just the water.
Yeah.
Just looking at the water, smelling the water, something about it that just calms my brain. My brain never stops. So I would love it if my brain would just stop every once in a while.
God.
But it doesn't.
I feel that, bro. It never stops.
It never stops.
It's until I go to bed. It's hard. It's a hard thing because, like, I'm big about being a present father and husband, and I put everything into that. But there's still meetings and ideas and things. Oh, I need to reach out. There's still always going on in my head.
Yeah.
And I had that same desire to, like, I just want to turn that off.
Just turn it off.
Just for a little bit. Like, not completely, because there's a positive to it, but it can be overwhelming, man.
Well, it got me where I am. So, I'm extremely thankful for it. But we are getting to the point where I would love for it to not be there all the time.
Yeah. Is the business where you want it to be, or are you still on the grind?
So that's an amazingly, awesomely hard question to answer. Because if you ask me today, it's no. But if you ask me next week, it might be yes. If you ask me last month, it might be yes.
It varies.
We have 39 locations right now, and we're growing.
Dang, that's huge.
Yeah, we got 10 more opening up this year, I believe. And so we're growing at a really good rate. We slowed down on purpose. In 2024, we opened 19 locations, which was too much in a single year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was way too much. So we purposely slowed down, and it's been a lot better. And getting the team up and going has been dramatically helpful.
Yeah, I've met a couple people.
Yeah, Katie, you met Katie.
Katie, and I forget who was the other guy that was there with her. He works at one of the clinics.
There's Josh Austin and Jerry Smith.
I think his name was Josh.
Josh, yeah, he's our provider in Nashville market. Jerry Smith is one of my business partners. He started the company with me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
they were solid individuals. So from what I've seen so far, it sounds like looks like you got a killer team.
Yeah, a really good team. All of the owners, every location has an individual owner. Yeah, and so all of them we're really fortunate with the team that we have right now.
It's interesting because you talk about the team, and when I started my brand, I talked about how I had a team, but I was so focused on the team aspect. I didn't really pay attention to the team, so I was military, I've always believed in brotherhood and, we worked together, and obviously I got humbled in that aspect, but now coming to a place where I'm at is as I build a team, I'm going to build the right team. Because you can get eager and be like, I just want to give everybody an opportunity, and that can bite you in the ass.
It does. And then, or you're trying to save money, so you don't go with the person who deserves the extra money. And that's been something we've had to deal with in the past. And now we've actually got a really good one. I'm not good at giving praise a lot. I don't want praise. I don't look for praise. I don't want it. It makes me feel uncomfortable when I get it, so I just don't give it. So that's even one of those things where we've hired a leadership guy that helps us be like, okay, we need to reach out to these people, give them praise, give them all this stuff. And things like that. In the military, you may not have that feeling either. How often do you say, hey, great job, to a guy putting toilet paper where it's supposed to be?
Shoot, we'd be crushing some jobs in the flight line, and my supervisor at one point would just tell me I sucked at the end of it. And I'm like, thanks, sir. Appreciate you. Yeah. Even if we got it done, I felt like that was his way of giving me praise.
I think it is. I think it is the way guys give praise.
Yeah, the military just be like that, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe he just didn't like me.
Good.
Either way, we're good.
Yeah.
So let's take it back.
Sure.
Let's take it back to the early days of Josh. You don't got to dive too deep into it. Just, you know, where are you from? Tell us a little bit about your childhood, if you'd like, and maybe just some influences there that kind of set the trajectory for where you're at now. And then we'll go into, you know, your first year of college.
Yeah. Yeah. So, born and raised in Wisconsin, small towns. Mom and dad are great. I get all of my brain not stopping from my mom, but I get my calmness from my dad. And so they're very opposite, my mom and dad.
Yeah.
My dad's calm. My mom is go, go, go. Lots of kind of the entrepreneurial spirit. And so I really get that. But I'm also a really calm guy where it takes a lot to kind of get me worked up. When things go wrong, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I tell every single owner at the clinics, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, we've been through it. It'll be okay. And I really kind of get that from my dad, where he's always stayed calm through everything. But again, it's because of my mom that I'm the entrepreneur that I am.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's cool as you grow older, you're able to key in on those things from
Really
your parents.
pinpoint it.
Yeah. Like my love and my love for people and that passion behind it, definitely my mom.
Yeah.
My dad, you know, he's worked in, you know, executive side of the trucking business for his whole life, but he's always done what he had to do. And he's got insane drive. You know, they're both Ironman athletes, but like my dad, you know, he's like, he signed up for one for his 65th birthday, you know, to do another full. And that drive that it takes to accomplish that, especially as you get older, I don't know. I've gained I think my drive from my father in a different way, and just his willingness to do whatever he has to do for his family.
Yeah.
You know, and like as I just grow, I can key in on different aspects too. It's really cool to see the traits that you take from your parents.
Oh yeah.
Because some people think like I don't have nothing in common with my parents, but I think if you pay attention enough, you'll see that stuff.
Oh, big time. My dad, hard worker, super hard worker. Starts something, he finishes it. Never late, always early. My mom, always late. Right. Start something, may not finish it, and it's a great combination that kind of got me to where I am. Amazing sister. That kind of goes into the college area, but she really showed me she kind of has the same attributes as well, and she really pushed it. Stayed in the corporate world, but did really good.
Oh, really?
And so I always kind of looked up to her too. She's 2 years older.
Okay. Just you and her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I got two other brothers, but one's a lot younger and he was so much younger. I was off to college, and then my older brother, we didn't really talk to that much.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and then in school and grade school, I was in the special ed classes. You know, I could not spell. I still cannot spell.
Really?
My wife makes fun of me probably every day because my spelling is so horrible. It is, and this is no joke.
I need to go back and look at the email you sent me.
Oh, it's probably got. If it wasn't for a Google Word and AI now, I throw it in everywhere just to protect. I can read, like reading, no problem. I can read any. I've got a great vocabulary. It's just the actual words. I don't know if it's some form of dyslexia that I have, but when I start writing, it just doesn't work for me.
You're like, I'm spelling you. You put the U first, the O. You're like, it's all
OptimizeU. It's the letter U. It's not.
You're like, I don't know how to spell you, so I'm just going to put the letter.
We're just going to do the letter U.
That's funny.
And so I just remember in grade school having to go to all those classes, and of course it didn't work because I'm still horrible at spelling.
Yeah.
And
you're stronger in other things, though.
Yeah. But I made it through. I mean, high school is easy.
Yeah. You're an athlete, I assume?
Yes, but not school athlete. So Muay Thai, I did Muay Thai all through middle school and high school.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good.
I started boxing when I was in high school.
Did you?
Yeah. I still box today, man.
Yeah,
so
where do you box?
Right now, home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people don't understand boxing's all footwork. Mm-hmm. So I'm always just practicing the dance. Mm-hmm. I tell people all the time, like, because I've trained people, they want to learn all this stuff. And I'm like, listen, you don't need to learn all these punches if you can't move your feet.
Right.
You got to have rhythm.
Yeah.
And if you just have a good 1-2, especially a good jab, the other stuff will come, but those are the most important, right? So,
love it.
Yeah, so I train solo. And my brothers and I get together, and I mean, you know, every several months and for certain events, and, you know, we do boxing. We'll do some bare knuckle boxing. So I've got been doing some bare knuckle stuff over the past few years, but yeah, it's intense.
Yes, it is.
But it keeps me feeling alive.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I get it.
Yeah. So, but I appreciate that. And martial arts is such a powerful thing. I mean, I'm trying to teach my daughter how to box. She's 3. She just hits me in the jaw and I'm like, weren't supposed to do that, but good one. You know what I'm saying? But I think it teaches you so much about, like, I'm all about team development and working with other people to grow. But what I've learned is if you're constantly just in a team environment, you kind of suffer solo, right? And like I've had to do a lot of this work solo. And I see the value in having skills in confidence in just yourself. Yeah. So I want my daughter to have that confidence in just her capability, right? You learn to fail and win on your own, all those different things. You can't blame anybody else. You just have to reflect on yourself. So I don't know. Maybe that's been a big part of who you are today, is just training that sport. Do you still train?
Yeah, when I can. My son really wants to get into it. So we were at Nashville MMA. We went there for about 6 months when he was there, but he just moved out. He's moving back, so we might start back up again, but he really fell in love. He was a wrestler. Yeah. He was an amazing wrestler. Yeah. Really, really good. But he's really wanting to get into the boxing, Muay Thai. And nice. It's hard to learn kicks when you're older. I'm trying to teach him kicks. Kicks are harder when you're older. Punches you can learn, but kicks are harder to learn when you're older. But he's getting there.
Just slinging it like that.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah.
I'm not used to it. No. Like everyone kind of practices throwing punches. Growing up, you practice. You never really practice kicks. Yeah. You know? And so, but he's getting there.
So going through high school, good experience. Couldn't spell. That seems to be the only. Speaking of, I was actually spelling bee champ in elementary school. So it's funny you said that.
We will not have a competition today.
So if you ever need help, like spells, just hit me up. Yeah. I'll reach out to you for some advice on stuff too. Yeah. Everybody's got their strong suits. Everybody's got the places they struggle at. Yeah. So going to college, man, grew up there. Did you ever move?
Yeah. So we moved actually my junior year, halfway through my junior year of high school, we moved.
Tough time to move.
20 miles. Yeah, it was really tough. It was probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Really?
My friends in my first high school, they were great, really good friends. They're all doing good. A lot of military, a lot of, mechanics, construction type of guys. Yeah. When I moved, it was just a completely different friend group that I fell into. Yeah. And I would not have gone to college if I didn't move to high school.
Really?
Yeah, I firmly believe that. I went to college because the friend group I had, everyone went to college.
Oh, nice.
And actually, I don't believe fully in college. I'm trying to talk my son not to go into college. Yeah. To do stuff. So I'm not saying that did it, but I would not be where I am today if I didn't have a college degree.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that high school move did it. Helped me get through that.
Well, it was different times too. Like, how old are you?
42.
Would you say so? Like college nowadays is just
44. I'm 44.
Hey, close enough.
Close, yeah.
I always like to round things, I'm 40-ish, 36, 40, so I'm like, 40, about 40. Yeah. 40 so you went to college. Where would you go? And would you go for?
University of Wisconsin Whitewater.
Okay.
I went for health and human performance. I had a 1.6 GPA my first year. Nice. Wonderful. Almost failed out. Failed every class except for, I think, weightlifting, which is what got me to the 1.6. And I almost failed, and it was tough to come back from that. But a lot of drinking in college, of course, too much. University of Wisconsin Whitewater, I think it's like the per capita, the most beer bought and purchased and drank, even more than the University of Wisconsin Madison. At least it was at the time.
It's insane.
It was bad. But I met a lot of people, great people that I still talk to today. Yeah. I actually did not finish my bachelor's degree there. I went into some renal failure. We don't know why. And so I missed a couple classes my senior year, but I'd already been accepted to a nursing program. So I couldn't finish. And so I went and got my nursing degree. And then after I got done with my nursing degree, I did finish my bachelor's degree later on.
Okay.
To the program.
What was the pivot to get your grades on the right track? Did you just stop partying?
Yeah. And once I got into nursing, my grades were good. Yeah. They were good. It was just in all through University of Wisconsin Whitewater, I think the best year I ever did was like a 2.3. Yeah. It's just not me. I'm not the guy to sit in a classroom and learn. That's just not my learning.
For sure. I think that's just most guys.
I think it is.
I was talking to somebody the other day. It's like, I think females are better at like sitting in a classroom setting, but boys aren't. And that's the thing is like, you know, big on the homeschool. It's just like, but it's like if the boys aren't acting like the girls do and like paying attention in that setting, they get in trouble for just being boys.
Right.
It's not natural.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was proof of that all through.
Same.
All through everything. Like luckily I was smart enough, except for spelling. In high school, like I got 3.0, like just not doing anything.
Yeah.
Right. And then kind of coasted through. But college you can't really coast through.
No.
And so I made it through. C's get degrees.
Yeah.
So I have a bachelor's degree and I have my registered nurse associate's degree. So I did it backwards. I started bachelor's, didn't finish, got my associates, went back to my bachelor's.
All over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, but it worked out.
It worked out.
It paid off, you know? And I don't know. I'm really glad I went to college after the military. Like I told you about my first year. It was addiction and, you know, I think it was a 1.6 GPA. Yeah. So it didn't look too great. But then I went back as a veteran at 25 years old. And I just like, I don't need to be partying with these, you know, didn't appeal to me. And it's just a different place in my life. So I was more focused and everything. So I always think like, if my daughter wants to go to college, I'll probably urge her to like experience life a little bit, you know, maybe travel or something like that. Like I did, like I told you about. And, you know, because that's the thing, you're thrown in the fire and everybody's partying. Like that's just, you do that.
You just do it.
And it can totally ruin your life if you're not careful about it. Fortunately, it worked out for us.
Yeah.
But
the first time you're living on your own and you're living on your own with a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds, what could go wrong?
I know. And then the military is like, hey, we're going to place you in Panama City, Florida.
Yeah.
You're 19. You're an adult now.
Yeah.
We're going to pay you to be. I'm like, oh my God. And it just, that was a little wild too. But so when you graduated college, what was the next step for you?
Nursing. So started nursing. That's where actually I met my wife in college, my amazing wife, and she's originally from Chicago. She moved down here when she was about 13 to Fancy Farm, Kentucky.
Okay.
So we met her during school, and I went back to Wisconsin to take my boards, and was like, I'm gonna move back to Kentucky to her, and we actually I asked her to marry me about 3 to 6 months later. And did CCU. I've done CCU. I've done Psych. Psych was probably my favorite thing that I've done. I was in Psych for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. It was just, I was in Paducah area and then Hopkinsville is where I was working into the drive just got too much. But
what all did you do in that? In Psych?
Yeah. Western State Hospital was where I worked. So I worked the intensive care unit.
Okay.
And so, you know, we just worked with a lot of people with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. It wasn't like your mild depression. It was like I worked with the
pretty extreme stuff,
the harder stuff. Yeah.
You hear people say they struggle with that. What was the appeal to it?
You know, you actually see a lot of benefits when you're in there. And I'm not a big fan of a lot of psych meds. I'm not fan of antidepressant medications, but when people are that far, it's a different story. So we're not talking about your average depressed mom, average depressed dad. This is true schizophrenia, and you can see the benefits that these people get if they truly get the help that they get. So you see the people, God, they're talking about it in LA, like crazy right now, right?
Yeah.
All the people on the streets, they can get help and they can get better. They really, really can.
It's just about getting them help and getting them better.
It's about getting them help and getting them better.
Yeah, we could dive into the whole where we put our resources. Right. I'm big on helping our people, you know. And yeah, I see that as heartbreaking. Anybody can improve. Yeah, you just got to be willing to like devote the time and the resources into them.
Yep. After that, I got into management.
I did want to say, not to interrupt.
No.
I appreciate this about you though, because earlier you said you're not one to like give compliments or you don't like to receive that, but from listening to you and what you do now, what you did then, you're one of those people that show them love through your actions. Yeah. And like, I appreciate that. You're an action oriented guy. I mean, I could see that 100%. And so even though you may not say it, your actions show it. And honestly, man, that's crucial right there. Yeah. It's easy to say words, not to say people don't mean it, but when you actually show it through actions, I mean, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There I am, like
There you
giving you
go.
one. You're like,
Giving
damn
me
it,
the
man.
compliments,
You
yeah.
threw me off.
Yeah.
At some point in the relentless pursuit, you move, you pivot, not just metaphorically, but literally. You outgrow a space, you level up, you pick up everything you built and you carry it somewhere new. And in that process, it'll expose you. It'll show you real fast who shows up. And that's why I only trust True Friends Moving Company, because they'll treat you just like that. True friends. My family's used them personally, and moving day on our end was zero stress. Top-notch service, smooth process, and excellent communication. And the people by your side throughout it are personable, professional, and handle everything with care. True Friends Moving Company is your go-to in Middle Tennessee, and they operate the same way the name sounds, like people who actually care about where you land. Link in the description below. Go show some support. Personally, I just think it's a waste of time. And not to knock people for getting into it. I just think when I stopped watching any spectator sports, probably like 7-8 years ago, it's changed my life for the better. Like, because I realized like all my conversations involved with that just circled around that. But then when I cut that out of my life, like all my conversations are like growing opportunities. They all have depth to them. You know what I'm saying? I think it just, so I don't, play video games. I don't watch sports. My wife and I, we got some shows to watch. Every once in a while, my daughter, she likes Tangled and Moana, and I love all those movies too. I get into them as well.
It's funny you say that. I tell you, I have found a trick to shut my brain off, and it's watching those type of movies.
Really?
Yeah. So my wife will make fun of me because I'll have one of those movies on, or even Family Guy, but it's like I put that stuff on, and for whatever reason, my brain just quiets down. It's funny.
You know what? It's funny. I get what you're saying, because I don't know. My wife will watch some like murder documentary, right? And I'm like, dude, that just like gives me a bad feeling. I think it's a female. I swear, women love that stuff, and I'd like. That's dark, man. And that just makes me feel a certain way. Now I'm going out throughout the rest of the day. Like, what if one of those guys are out here now doing this to people? Like, hey, honey, watch your back at the Publix, and he's out there. I'm hyper vigilant anyways.
Yeah.
And so those things just get me more in my head. I think the good thing about like the kids movies is they're just wholesome. And it's like in a chaotic world, it's the complete opposite of that. And it's just
slows things down.
It slows things down, man. Like life is stressful enough. The world has enough crazy shit going on. We're at the period you like met your wife.
Yep.
And you're getting into
Psych.
Yep.
I left there and got into management. The drive was just getting too long. It was an hour and a half there, hour and a half back. So it was just too much. I got into management, did that just for a little while. Really, I just wanted the experience in management.
Yeah.
And then I had an opportunity to join the hospice team at Lourdes in Paducah, and I did that for 2.5 years, and that was a pretty incredible experience.
Heavy.
Yeah. Heavy, and it's I kind of looked at it different as more of just helping people go through their next step, and it's harder on the family than it is on the patient. Lots of times the patients, you just have conversations with them and they're ready.
Yeah.
90% of the time they're ready. It's the family that you're really walking through the position and just making sure that they understand you're going to make them as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
Through the whole process. But that's kind of neat. We still have, when we go out in the Paducah, it's a small town.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll still go out there and be like, oh, you helped us through when my mom passed away. And it actually makes my wife cry every time someone comes.
I mean, I'm an emotional person, so I'd be crying in the middle of talking to you.
Yeah.
I'd have to learn how to reserve that, but because you're guiding people through, a heavy loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to do, for people to go through. So yeah,
it was tough. And it's kind of funny because what I got most out of it is kind of a sales attitude and a sales experience that it was random. I didn't expect to get out of it, but
really,
you're really having to not convince people, but educate people in a way where they're on board with making the mom and the dad feel comfortable, Right.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we'll go into situations where like, well, I don't want them to have pain medication, so I want to talk to them. Well, like let's figure this out. Let's make sure that this patient is as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
And let's focus on the patient, not focus on the family as far as pain and stuff goes. There's a lot that we do to focus on the family. I'd say a lot of it was, but it was a good job.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
That's really cool. You worked in some cool areas.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Originally, I went to school for nursing.
Should have stayed with it, man. Could have opened an OptimizeU.
It's dealing with like people like, hey, dude, like poop and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that stuff. I pick up dog poop, I'm about to throw up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I don't know about it. I was like, man, can I just sign up to be like the guy on the helicopter that goes, right. And like, because I could handle that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think it was the other things. And honestly, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Sure.
But otherwise, I'd be hitting you guys up.
Yeah.
But, I just, at the core of it, I wanted to help people and impact people. And, what better job to do than to do that,
Yeah.
And like, there's so many opportunities there, and you could just level it up and get creative. You've done several different things in that line.
And then they all ran me into, I got into medical device sales, which was an amazing job. I loved it.
Really?
I loved it. The money was the best money I'd ever made.
Oh yeah.
So really good job. And that's where I met my business partner, Jerry, is I was selling spinal cord stimulators to, Dr. Stringy, Clint Hill, Paducah, and Jerry was their PA. And
you don't mind if I ask you a question before we dive into that? I just want to ask because I didn't want to get too far away from like the psych stuff and the hospice stuff. I feel like those things would prompt you to reflect quite a bit, mortality and just on yourself maybe, right? Do you think that did? Did you think did it force you to think about like mortality and just really kind of dive deep in here?
I think it really helped me stay calm. Psych was the big one where it taught me to stay calm. Like I wasn't super calm. I was calm in college. I was calm growing up. I was a really calm kid, but there's a different level of calm when you're dealing with high energy constantly from a psych patient. And,
probably patients too.
Patients in general.
Yeah.
Anytime they're in a situation where they're dealing with nurses, they don't want to be there.
Of course.
It's not like, except for OptimizeU. That's kind of why we started OptimizeU. Is one of the reasons is I like dealing with patients that want to be.
Yeah, for sure.
But the psych, that's the biggest one that it really taught me to keep my tone when I'm in a stressful situation. My tone is stable.
Really?
Right. And it's not going to go all over the place. It's not going to get excited. It's going to be stable. And psych really taught me that. And it taught me how to deal with those high energy people who they allow their emotions to kind of just take over.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they just need help.
They just need help.
And
then hospice, you just see things go by so fast. It just goes by so fast. So you really learn, hey, let's take this day by day and let's really try to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's where I go back to, business ownership and that work-life balance is I enjoy work. And so if someone to me was like, hey, you need to stop working, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to stop working.
Yeah.
I enjoy working.
Yeah.
Now I have to make sure that it's been nice for me. She doesn't love it always that she works with us. But I like having my wife work with us.
Yeah. What is that dynamic like?
It's tough sometimes. But I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I like that we can go on work things together and we can, if we want to take off, we can go take off together. And if we need to go to Florida to visit a location, we can go together, and we don't have to worry about her other job. If she did have a different job, I need to request off or I can't get off because I have to go to a business meeting.
Yeah.
That's really important to me. I'm sure she doesn't love it all the times because I am that guy that is, let's go, go, go. I have a new idea. Let's turn in this direction. And she's the one that has to kind of deal with all that stuff. So she doesn't love that, but I enjoy her being with the business. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's kind of a goal for me is like for my wife to be more involved just so, I could have my family along for stuff when I do travel. Right. I hate getting away from them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to escape my family ever. Like I love having them by my side. So to have them tied in with work, even if you do butt heads, like you're different personalities. Why wouldn't you? Right? Like my wife and I, she's helped me with some events and fundraising stuff, and it's pretty chaotic, but we just have our lanes.
Yeah.
And like, we probably won't talk this whole several hours, right? But she's just like, Joe, go over here. Da, da, da. And she's really good at certain aspects. I think that project manager side comes out.
Absolutely.
So you met your business partner when you were in sales.
Yeah, we were in sales, and we just became friends, played racquetball. Do you play racquetball?
Is that where you hit the wall?
Yeah.
So I was deployed, and they had racquetball rooms. And so me and my supervisor for a few months, we'd go play. Like, that was our cardio.
Sport.
It's so much fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Lots of cardio.
Yeah.
And so we just started playing, me, Stringy, Hill, and Jerry. And one day Jerry and I were playing, and we're like, God, we don't want bosses anymore. What can we do? And then so we were like, well, what are things that we enjoy? And we're like, we enjoy optimization. We enjoy hormones. Just all the guys in our area were doing it wrong. I needed hormones at the time, and I couldn't find a place that I could afford. I couldn't find it. And so like, well, what if we figured out a way to make it an affordable place for guys? Because we were men's only at the time, men's only hormone clinic. We're not anymore. We're men and women. But the whole goal was making it affordable. And I was a registered nurse, and like, I can't afford $400 a month. And that's what it was costing down the road. And so we decided that we had a doctor. She's no longer with us as far as a partner, but she was a great partner to help us up and going. We had Clint Hill, who unfortunately 2 years later passed away in a plane crash.
Damn.
And then Brandon Stringy, he joined us in 2018, and now he's our doctor that owns that owns it. And Jerry and I, we run it. I'm the CEO, and he's our chief education officer. He's a super smart guy.
Nice.
Super smart guy.
Everybody's got their strong suits.
Yeah.
You can't ask anything better. And then so y'all got started. When was this?
2016 is when we started the company. 2017, we got the first clinic open.
So OptimizeU, that was the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like?
It was intense. We each threw in $5,000, scraped it. I took a $60,000 a year pay cut. Jerry worked for free for almost a year, 6 months for free, and then a year he worked like for pennies on the dollar. I worked the front desk, the office, cleaned everything all by myself for 6 months. Like, it is true entrepreneurship. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. We grinded. Jerry would come in after hours. He would work with Stringy and they'd be in surgeries, and then he'd come in afterwards and see a couple of patients until we got enough patients where he could come on part-time, and then he came out full-time. And then it just kind of, we've just been so fortunate.
It's a tough thing, we go from like, you know what you're making, what's coming in every month, to like,
not.
I made something this month, but I don't know what next month looks like. It can vary, right? Especially when you're first starting, you just don't have that consistency built up yet.
Yeah.
And it can shift up like that,
Yep.
especially with multiple people. So just that risk alone turns a lot of people away from it.
Yeah. And then, as we grew, we were just, well, do we want to grow? Do we not want to grow? And I think it goes back to kind of what you were saying earlier about, I'm not going to give you praise, but I want people to be successful. I want them to be.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to develop an idea for an RN, an NP, a doctor who may not be happy, more the RN, the NP, the PA, to be able to be a part of a business where they can make really good money.
Yeah.
Really good money. So they can make good money, and they can help patients at a really affordable price and get the care that they need.
Yeah.
And so that's why we grew, is to give people opportunities. We would be making way more money, Jerry and me, if we didn't do that. It's like you had mentioned earlier, money's not the only issue. I think I've proven very much money is not the main issue for me.
Yeah.
It's how many people can I help? Now I'm not going to lie, I want to make good money. Right?
Yeah.
But how many people can I help along the way? And I think that we've been able to help a lot of people. At least I hope we have.
That's really cool. To start, like, anybody says they're not trying to make money,
They're lying.
They're lying. Like, I want my family to have financial freedom. You don't want to. I would love to not stress about bills at all.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the goal. But I think that's not the soul. That's not what got me started.
Right.
When people reach out to you, say like an episode saved their life, that's the why.
Yeah.
When people are breaking down some stuff that they've never told their family on here, like, that's the why, right? But yeah, you want those other things to come with it, of course, right? And that just takes more time. But if that's your focus, then it's going to throw, I think, the purpose of it off the rails anyways at some point.
Helping patients is awesome. Helping business owners is just a different type of feeling. I had a guy, one of our owners, just 2 weeks ago called me and said, "Hey, Josh, I just want to say thank you." I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
Don't do this.
Yeah. He's like, "We just hired another staff member. I'm now able to only work 2 days a week and be with my family the rest of the time because of OptimizeU." I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, if that's not a sign for, any listeners
Yeah.
to go check you guys out,
Yeah.
I don't know what is,
Yeah.
But so, yeah, you're making making people's lives that are everyday people pursuing things, got families, all this stuff. You're helping them perform their life better.
Yes.
I mean, and when your hormones and everything's in check, men and women, it makes you better at everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you feel better. You're going to perform at work better. You're going to be better for your family, your drive, everything, man.
Yeah. We used to be able to say, you have that younger guy coming in. So if you're 50, 60 years old and you're a salesman or you're a CEO and that younger guy's coming in and has the drive to want to do more than you, it's hard to compete sometimes, especially when your hormones are just out of whack and you're fighting your hormones. Now some of the younger guys coming in, they don't have that drive. That's a whole nother battle we're battling.
Oh, why do you think?
Their testosterone's lower.
Oh.
We're seeing it every day, lower and lower testosterone levels in young men.
What do you think contributes to that?
A lot. There's a lot that's doing it. Glyphosates, plastics, like how many glyphosates and plastics are we getting from the interior of these cans that we're drinking, I have a plastic bottle that I'm shaking up right here. Yeah. The strawberries have all the chemicals on it. They're spraying for bugs. They're spraying for fungus. They're spraying for all these different pesticides. We're eating that. We're not washing stuff good enough. Even organic food has a bunch of junk on it.
Yeah.
Our tomatoes, our veggies, you used to be able to say, well, you just need to eat better. Well, the vitamin and mineral profile of a tomato today is not the same as it was 30 years ago.
No. It's almost like, what's the point of eating a tomato?
Right. White bread. We could eat, even us could eat, Wonder white bread when we were younger. It's not the same Wonder white bread.
It's changed a lot.
It's changed.
Evolved
and
or devolved.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all the things that we can say. We used to be able to say, well, if they would just do these, it's harder and harder for young men and women to just do these because the nutrition profile and everything that's in there is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Sedentary lifestyles, right? A lot more people going to college, a lot less electricians, contractors. And so those are all reasons why testosterone levels go. Feminization of America could have an impact.
Oh yeah.
So it's like young men are getting hit at all angles. Young women are being thrown on birth control at 12 years old.
Yeah.
And so it's just more and more PCOS or PMOS now. More and more younger people dealing with hormone issues.
Yeah. I wonder what Alex Jones would have to say about it.
Yeah, right. The
frogs. Let's get him the frogs. Yeah. But
I've been telling you about 10 years with this frog. Yeah.
Dude, you're pretty accurate with some things though. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But and I don't know, the water, all that stuff, man. You do got to be extremely careful. I mean, we're very intentional about what we eat and how we feed our daughter, but sometimes, she's a toddler, right? Sometimes she's going to eat some Roni.
Yeah.
So you heat up some, and it's not all the time, right? I grew up on cereal and stuff. I'm fine, right? But I also ate really well, and my parents were intentional about it too. But, I'm big on just trying to find some grass-fed beef. I eat that. My daughter eats that with me. She likes my food, right? And fortunately, we get eggs from her mom. There's literally cows that go next to us. It's an Angus farm. So I see them doing, so I'm going to hit them up. You just got to be so intentional, but even then it just can cost you a lot of money.
Because what are they eating?
Yeah.
What are they eating? There's a really good book. It's Dr. Anthony J. I've never met the guy, but he seems like a great guy. It's a book called Estrogeneration.
Estrogeneration?
Yeah.
Write this down.
It basically goes through all of the stuff that our endocrine system is dealing with on a day-to-day basis.
Really?
Even from the soaps you're putting on your body, spraying cologne, there's clothes. I think Lululemon just got in a bunch of trouble because there's
the forever chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the clothes that we're putting on, in the underwear that we're putting on. So it's like we're constantly getting hit. And then I love it when you hear these companies say, well, the amount that I put in it isn't enough to do anything. Well, no, but the amount that you put in it and they put in it and then they put in it and then they put in it, and it just keeps adding up.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's something you have to battle. And how do you battle it? You optimize yourself. You exercise. You try to eat right. You get hormone help if you need it.
You still got to wear clothes, you know?
Have to wear clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. I tried to do like natural deodorant, but like it just doesn't work, bro.
It doesn't work.
So guess what? I got the Old Spice, and I'm like, gosh, I know that it's not good. It's not good for me, but at the same time, like I'm not going to be stinking up. Like,
right.
I don't need you sitting here covering your nose up. You know, I'm like, dang, I'm sorry, man. It's just one of those things. But again, you try your best and all the ways you can.
That's all you can do.
I think that's the key right there is just being aware and understanding that like you can't fight it all. But you can still do your best to optimize and, you know, go to guys like you to really get things squared away.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important. What's it like bridging like the clinical side of things or like the caregiving with sales? What is the connection there?
So it's easier if you know what you're doing. We actually have a whole education course on, we're not selling to our patients.
Yeah.
Period. We're not selling. A lot of our competitors, they'll walk out with 3 different medications that they're on. And I'm like, why? Like, if I give you 3 different medications right now and you come back to me in 3 weeks with a symptom that we're trying to fix, how do I know what medication is causing that symptom?
Yeah.
Right. Now, with women, sometimes you have to because they have progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone that we have to sometimes put them all 3. But with guys, let's get you started on testosterone. Let's get your hormones fixed before we start trying to sell you a bunch of other stuff. Right?
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. Now, what we want people aware of is, and that's why I try to really make sure I'm teaching my providers is if they're going to get it, I want you to get it from us.
Yeah.
So I don't want you going to somewhere else to get something for your supplements or semaglutide or a GLP or a testosterone, right? So it's more about educating your staff. And so our clinicians should be spending about 45 minutes to an hour with the person and really letting them know, say, hey, this is all the stuff. This is how we're going to start. This is your avenue of stuff that you can do going forward if you want to, but we're not going to sell it to you right now. We want to get you settled, get you kind of on the right track. And then when you're ready, let's start having conversations about all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Don't go somewhere else. We'll take care of all of your care here. Even supplementation, like we give the recommendations based off of your lab work on your supplements. It's really important.
Yeah.
So you're not guessing as much. And so it's big on not selling. It's big on just providing options for the patient and knowing that we can provide that care for them.
Yeah. And you don't want to, I mean, yeah, you can make more money selling more and putting them on more stuff, but that does more damage than good, because if you start from scratch, you can help them optimize and then see where they need to go. Like I totally follow what you're saying. I think that's so important because you don't want to have to be on all this stuff if you don't need to be.
You don't need to be on it. Why be injecting?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because that shit just adds up too.
Yeah.
And it can be stressful, man.
And it can be expensive.
Very expensive. And speaking of, I saw, and I don't know what you could say on this, you know, I saw somebody talking about all the peptide stuff and like, yes, it's effective, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they were saying like 99% of it isn't. Like that 1% is like, so you got, it's sourced well. I don't know all about it all. And we don't have to dive too deep into the specifics, but I know of a lot of people that are doing peptides and stuff. I hear about it all the time. I'm not on any, and so I don't know where everybody gets them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but most of them are sourced from like sketchy places, and they have all these different things in them that it's not pure. Like, what would you say to go with that?
Yeah, you just don't know. And that's the thing is if you're not going to a provider, let's kind of start back to the beginning. Peptides, some people are even right now, it's all placebo peptides. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not. I have lab work to prove that peptides work.
Yeah.
Like I've got labs to show it. And when you get into peptides, you just need to make sure that if you are taking something that can change your endocrine system, you should not be doing it on your own.
Yeah.
So even if you're taking a supplement and the supplement claims it'll increase your testosterone, okay, you should not be taking a supplement that claims to increase your testosterone without a doctor helping you through that process.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff that if you're increasing your testosterone, well, you're increasing your estrogen, you're increasing this, you're increasing that, you're changing a lot of things, right? And you really need to be monitoring through lab work and just making sure. when we look at lab work, we don't look at lab work and say, okay, this is what we're going to follow. We just use it as a tool along with symptoms to kind of fix things, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that lab work is a be all, but it is something that helps us make sure that your HDL isn't going up, right?
Yeah.
That all these are HDL going down. I'm sorry about that. But all these things, peptides, what's been huge right now is these lab companies developing peptides. And so they're not FDA approved. They'll say they're compliant with stuff and they'll say that they're tested, but are they testing for the right things? I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to say that some of these lab companies are probably better than pharmacies, right? There's probably a couple and so I don't want to actually talk bad about all lab companies. There are probably some out there that are like
legit.
These are really, really good. But then you're still not having a doctor follow your care.
Yeah.
And if you're changing your endocrine system and you're changing things that are the normal processes of your body, get a provider that can help you through that process.
For sure. 100%. Do y'all run into, so for example, when I was young in the military, I want to get jacked, of course I'm drinking and all this stuff. And I'm like, pro hormones, man.
Right.
I don't know where I came across pro hormones, but I used to
Mdrawl, H-drawl.
bull. Yeah. I forget. There was one with a bull on it. I remember that was a good one. And, it was like take for 6 weeks and I'd be on it for like 9 weeks, drinking every night. Yeah, I get a little jacked, but I felt like shit.
Yeah.
But again, like I handled things differently at 20.
Right.
Like, did I feel like crap? You can handle a lot more then. If I did that now, I'd probably be like, dude, I'm dying.
Right.
Right. Age definitely changes things. But so what I'm getting at is that was a big thing when I was in the military, and they changed the makeup of it a little bit, and they'd put a new one out because they'd get banned over and over again. And now you're seeing a lot of younger men get on steroids. Mm-hmm. Like it's because of how they look, right? You see the looks maxing and you see everybody wants to be all jacked up, and you see some 20-year-old dude that looks like he's 35.
Right.
And that's becoming more common. Do y'all run into issues like that with young men that have been on that? Because they definitely aren't taking into account like all the other issues that they're bringing along with it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one more avenue of the patients we deal with. We'll have 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds that are going to be on therapy the rest of their lives.
Damn.
Because of trend, D-ball, and all this other stuff that they took when they were younger.
Yeah.
Their endocrine system isn't even done being developed yet.
Yeah.
And they're adding things to their, a guy isn't going through puberty until their 20s.
Yeah.
Right. But they're taking testosterone. And, unfortunately, some of these coaches at these colleges are encouraging them to take it. We had 2 kids a couple of years ago come in like, hey, my coaches wanted me to take Clomid and stuff on my off season. I'm like, well, why would you want to do that? Like your testosterone's probably 700-800, you don't need it. And so it's talking to these kids and getting them kind of educated. And a lot of times we can bring them back with Clomid, HCG, and real good diet and exercise, and they can come off of stuff.
Most businesses try to solve one problem at a time. These guys built something different. Nashville Fit, Bodywell, and B2 Wellness Suites. 3 brands operating as one ecosystem. Community, collaboration, and wellness all under one roof. Nashville Fit runs a results-driven media network built for businesses at every level. Whether you're trying to grow your brand, sharpen your performance, or get back on track, this is where expert coaching meets real accountability. Bodywell is your starting point for event staffing. Fitness, massage, wellness experiences brought directly to your corporation, your big event, your race. Whatever you're running, they show up ready. And B2 Wellness Suites is a collective of health and wellness professionals, each with their own specialty, all working towards one goal, helping you feel your best in a co-working environment that's relaxing to be in. Here's what makes it work. It's not just 3 separate businesses doing their own thing. Every piece is built to support the others. Advertising, coaching, accountability, wellness, all connected so you don't have to figure it out alone. If you're ready for a smarter, more complete approach, check out Nashville Fit, Bodywell, and B2 Wellness Suites. Links are in the description below. You were finishing up a statement talking about the young men and stuff, or I think you kind of got right to the end of that, where talking about people jacking their hormones up. And so y'all do have some patients that are kind of in that boat. They're still young, but their hormones are all jacked up because of shit they did in the past.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. you know, like you said, M-drawl and H-drawl, it's not as big as it used to be. But when I was 18, 19, and you were younger, those were big ones, pro hormones. We don't hear about that too much anymore.
Yeah, we're like old. That's old school stuff now.
Yeah.
The young guys wouldn't know about that nowadays.
No, but we still get young 18, 19-year-olds that come in on trend, or they come in on testosterone and they're taking 600 milligrams a week of testosterone that they're getting. You had one guy come in with his testosterone and it was green. He showed it to his green testosterone. I'm like, what are you taking, man?
You're injecting that in your body?
Yeah. And so it's pretty wild what these kids are willing to do just to get an edge, which I don't even know if it gives them that much of an edge.
No,
because of the anger issues because they're taking so much. Testosterone doesn't cause anger issues.
Yeah. Trend does.
Trend does.
I did it once.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah.
I was emotional as shit.
Yeah. And you get trend cough and Deca-Dick and like all these different side effects that are just horrible. They're just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
20-year-olds, they're not worth it.
Guys, if you're listening out there, please just like save yourself.
Just save it. Save it. Especially if you want to have kids when you're older, don't screw up your endocrine system. There's a lot we can do to help. HCG, Clomid, a lot we can do to help. But it's probably not worth it for 4 years in college I don't even remember most of college, truthfully. And not that because I was drunk, it's not as big of an impact on my life as different aspects.
Yeah.
You know, having a family, having vacationing with your family, those are things that are going to stay with you for so long. That don't take a bunch of hormones because you think it's going to help you with sports for 4 years. If you're not going to go, like they're not going pro, and so I just warn against it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big proponent of like maximizing your capability naturally, get as maxed out as you can, and if you still need an edge, okay. But by that time, you're going to be a little bit smarter. About shit. You're not going to be like, oh, this green test, let's do it. You know. Yeah. I know. It's just so crazy, man. That's insane, and it is sad though.
It's sad
because it affects them forever. And yeah. Anyways, I did want to ask too, because from personal experience, my wife has had a lot of hormone stuff since she had our daughter. And it's just been a really hard road for her for 3 years, right? And she would go somewhere and they'd be like, oh, it looks fine, and she'd be like, they said it looks good. And I'm like, babe, just like keep trying. Like, don't trust the first one. She's gone over and over again. It finally gets to a place where they do her blood work and they like start diving deep into stuff. And now we're finally 3 years later getting some real work done. So what would you say to somebody facing that kind of situation? Because I hate to assume, but I believe that there's probably a lot of, especially women, because there's so many more layers, I think, to their hormonal stuff, especially after having children, that probably lose hope because they think things are normal and they're just like, well, this is the way it is. Like, I'm just going to hold weight or gain weight because my hormones are normal according to this doctor. But I feel like that's just bullshit. Like, there's people out there that are like you guys that are genuinely able to help. You get what I'm getting at? Yeah. So what would you say to somebody that's like kind of they're at a speed bump right now?
Well, if you go to a provider and they look at your labs and they say you're normal, you're fine, get a new provider.
Yeah.
Get a new provider. A good provider is going to look at your levels. Yes, absolutely. They're going to look at your hormone levels. They're going to, but they're going to really sit down and talk about your symptoms.
Yeah.
Because symptoms and levels don't always max. Like, they don't always match and max out the way they're supposed to. So find a provider that's really going to deep down dig into your symptoms. And then number two, if you're going to a provider, they're probably not getting the right labs anyways. So are they really getting the right labs that they need? You go to a lot of primary cares. Are they going to test a testosterone on a woman? No, most of them don't. Right. So maybe that's the issue, is that they're just not getting the right labs in the first place.
Yeah.
So finding a provider that really knows and is really going to spend time with you, it's just super important.
Yeah.
And there is the help. There is help. It's out there.
Yeah, you just got to keep working at it.
You got to find the right one.
If you're in the area, check out OptimizeU. They will square you away.
We'll
Dude, you're your best. Yeah. I can't promise for you.
Right. I mean, there's things that we won't be able to fix right away, and it's going to take a long time. COVID, it's still impacting us today.
How so?
COVID antibodies are still through the roof on a lot of women. My wife is a prime example. Her COVID antibodies is crazy high.
So what does that do? How does that affect them?
Everyone's different, right? And so you'll have primary care physicians who will look at your labs and they'll say, well, everything's good. but then they haven't really checked a COVID antibody where it's through the roof. And
I never thought about that.
you have long COVID symptoms, which are a lot of hormone related symptoms. So brain fog, energy issues, libido issues. It's all a lot from long COVID. Yes. Literally my wife we checked her labs. It was just 3 months ago and she's still having the issues. Right. And then COVID's still around. So she may have had COVID and not really even knew she had it,
That's insane.
And so really being able to talk to a doctor about that stuff. And again, it goes back to your wife is one of them. Maybe she was on birth control for 20 years.
She was for a while because she had endometriosis. So, yeah.
Right. So she's basically been on a hormone for how long? And now some people are like, well, you don't need to be on a hormone anymore. Wait a minute. You've had me on a hormone for 20 years. I'm off that hormone. And
now I don't need any?
Now I don't need anything.
Yeah.
Like something's not right. Right. And it just doesn't mingle. And so if it's not OptimizeU, get with a provider that's going to listen to you.
Yeah.
Really talk about your symptoms and listen to you.
Don't just throw your hands up and accept it.
Right.
That's the last thing you want to do.
There's so much that can be done.
Yeah.
There's a lot of supplements that can be done. Like try on your own. Exercise, and I'll go back to it. Exercise and diet can help a lot.
Yep.
But there's a lot of supplementation you can try. But if that doesn't work, then it's just, okay, let's really look at your hormones and get for women, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone really looked at, dialed in. For men, we're pretty lucky, testosterone.
Yeah.
But it's still cleaning everything out.
Everything out. And it takes some work. Is there anything else you feel like urged to talk on regarding that space?
Hormones is what we love.
Yeah.
We just love it. What I will say is the industry is changing fast, really, really fast, especially for women. Over the last 2 years, we've seen the change and the rise in PCOS, PMOS go up dramatically. When we started, we would maybe have 1 or 2 patients with PMOS, polycystic disease. Don't ask me to say the whole word. I can't spell it in the first place. But we're having so many more patients come in with all these different symptoms, whether it's weight gain issues, they can't lose weight, their testosterone's really, really high for some reason. There's these random issues that are happening. And over the last 2 years, we've seen so many more patients, women, with this. And so we're really looking into that. And a lot of our teams are really diving in. There's lots of reasons why.
Yeah.
But that's something you can get Jerry in here one day and kind of talk about all that stuff.
Yeah, I would love that.
I try
Jerry.
to stay away from medical is the best I can.
Well, I'll get Jerry in here one of these days. We'll get it lined up.
Jerry can sing. He can play guitar. He can play the trumpet. He can play the piano. He can talk, I think, 2 different languages. It's just a smart dude.
Jerry's an impressive guy.
He's impressive.
He's going to play me. He better bring his guitar and serenade me.
He can.
Just for serenade the audience, not me.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'll play the cello.
There you go.
We'll just do a dual thing.
He could probably play the cello.
Yeah, he probably could. I just handed it to him. He's like, never touch this. And he's crushing it. I'm like, dang it, man.
Yeah.
I've gone backwards. Yeah. Man, I love what y'all are doing. And, to finish up, I kind of want to go back into the addiction part of it, as far as entrepreneurship goes.
Yeah.
I guess when it comes to, you talked about that itch to slow down, what we talked about earlier. But in combination with the addiction of entrepreneurship, where do you think that itch comes from inherently?
So I heard another entrepreneur say this one time, and it really stuck with me, especially when you get into starting to delegate stuff, right? Mm-hmm. You bring on a team, and the team member does something that you could have, on a 0 out of 100, you could have given it a 95, right? Maybe you didn't know how to do it, but you could have given it a 95 because it's your business, it's your baby. Mm-hmm. You bring in that employee, and they would do okay, but it was more like an 80 on this project. You're like, well, I can't give up that 15, so I'm just going to do it. Mm. And so you get in this mindset of, well, I'm just going to do it because I'm going to do it better than anybody that I would have brought into.
Yeah.
And so now you're training people up, and your goal is to get them trained up to where they're at that 95. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to do it. And I think if you're a real entrepreneur, you're a prime example. You're doing your entire show right now, right? Yeah. You don't have a producer because you're like, I think I can do that, and I think I can do it better.
Yeah.
That is a prime example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then you get in that mindset of, okay, well, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And eventually there's a time where you just can't.
Yeah.
You can't. But you're still looking at it and like, I could have done that better. Right? And so it's more of learning to shift your brain and move away and be willing to say, okay, I'm just not going to do something. Right? I have ideas going through my brain every single day. The amount of times that I've not said something to my team purposefully because I know they're just going to go try to do it, it's dramatic. I know they may not feel it because I still do a lot, but it's not even close.
Yeah.
So it's just that being able to learn, and I still haven't learned how.
Yeah.
I still haven't, but learn how to let go, let your team do it, and really be able to focus on smaller projects is what my goal is now at 44 years old to start to learn.
Well, you try to maintain that control. I think your growth is just going to be limited. Like
it is.
Even you may do 100, but it doesn't make you're going to be limited on how much growth you have just because you can't do it all.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't. And we're in a good place now where we can actually spend the money that we need to. So we have an amazing team now, really good marketing team that we're bringing on. We're about to launch a bunch of marketing stuff, which is pretty fun and interesting. And being able to have a team is just great.
Yeah. Do you think you, I was going to ask too, because I think you might have mentioned something about this in the questionnaire, but it was something along the lines of, I don't know. I think in quiet moments, with being as ambitious as you are, as goal driven, is there something you think you're afraid may creep up on you, like if it ever does turn off? Because you say your mind's always going. So if you were to turn that off, what do you think that would look like?
I think I'm okay failing. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like I learned that younger, that I'm okay if I fail. I've learned that if I fail, I can jump back and do it. So I probably used to would have say like that failure was there.
Yeah.
I think now it's more failure of the team that I put in place, of failing them, not necessarily failing me anymore. So I guess what sometimes creeps up on me is like, well, if we do this wrong and we make this wrong decision, and we've got 150 people employed by OptimizeU at this point.
Yeah.
What happens to them? And so you kind of start shifting away from what's impacting you into what's impacting your team.
Yeah.
And so that's probably what creeps up a little bit.
Dang. Yeah, because it's in a lot of ways like those people are dependent on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot more responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I think about it too. Like hell, the weight of being responsible for my
Just
wife
your
and
family.
daughter is heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So imagine like you got employees with families
Yeah.
that they love too, that they want to take care of and provide for.
Right.
So one day I'll have to reconnect with you about this and be like, dude, I see what you're saying.
When you have your stores selling Relentless t-shirts and pants, and then you have all those employees and you have their podcast employees, and then you're going to have it. You're going to have it.
It's going to happen.
And then you're going to be thinking, okay, well, now I have my family and their families I have to think about, because if I make the wrong decision, I have to close my doors. Who's paying them?
Yeah.
And they can get another job. I'm not saying like we're the best and they should be fortunate to work for us. That's not what I'm saying, but I don't want them to have to deal with that.
You don't go in the morning like a pet meeting, like, we could have chose somebody else.
Yeah. You're lucky.
You're the lucky one
to work with us.
Be grateful. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure there's some people like that.
Yeah, there are. I'm the opposite. I feel very fortunate with my team.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have every single one of them.
That's awesome, man. Moving towards the end of this, do you think there's like what's the ultimate goal for yourself and OptimizeU?
So the goal of OptimizeU as corporate is just to be able to help as many patients as we possibly can. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to help as many patients as we can. And there's so many people looking for help, and there's so many people getting taken advantage of when they're looking for help. So that's what I want.
Yeah.
As the business side is, I want as many people to be able to own a business and be successful and be their own entrepreneurs, be their own bosses. Like, that's what excites me too.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I'm pretty happy right where I'm at. Like, I don't think I can envision myself in a better place. Like, I'm happy.
Yeah.
My son is awesome. Wife is great. The business is growing. Like, what can you not be? There's bad days, but I'm not looking for a perfect life. I'm looking for a good life.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
It's that contentment combined with the ambition to level up.
Yeah.
That's like the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're content, but you're like still, that's a good place to be.
I want a bigger boat.
Yeah.
I can't get a bigger boat unless there's a couple boats that I like. Again, I love being on the water. So
yeah. I want 100 acres.
There you go.
You know,
got
like
6,
at least.
I want to be able to go deer hunting outside my backyard.
Dude, I'm telling you.
You know,
there's all kinds of stuff to that, but yeah, it's okay to want those things too.
Absolutely okay to want those things and to drive to get those things.
Yeah, for sure. Couple more questions. So this one, you went from a student who struggled somewhat to a nurse, to a salesman, to a CEO. Each version of you required you to become someone new.
Yeah.
Which version of Josh Hudson feels like the most real one?
Probably my nurse. You know, fortunately with this job, I often have to talk.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm talking a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm not a huge talker. And it's not that it's not me. It's not that I'm lying about anything that I say. But I like being on the back end. And, you know, when I was in nursing, I was on the back end and doing that. I like my CEO role now as a nurse on the back end. This forward stuff is difficult for me. It's really difficult.
Good thing I'm so cool.
Absolutely. You know, yeah.
You know, I do what I can.
Yeah. It's the questions you're asking. They're perfect questions.
I appreciate that.
But I enjoy being on the back end more than on the front end. So
Yeah.
as my nursing role in OptimizeU, it's all OptimizeU. I love where I am in OptimizeU. It's
Right
better
on.
than where I've ever been before.
Is there a version of yourself you had to leave behind in order to be here?
Yeah, the no talking person.
Yeah.
It's
Good
really
point.
yeah, it's like it's this job. Sales is where it got me there in Boston Scientific. That's what really pushed me in the direction of being able to start having conversations and talking.
Yeah.
But being, you know, here in OptimizeU, I have conversations every day now.
Yeah.
Every day.
And you're just growing in that way too.
Just growing, and you know, you see your vision. You kind of looking back to people who you looked up to. My sister and my brother-in-law Jeff, they lived a lifestyle. They had a business. My sister's in corporate, but he has his business, very successful, and it was always something that I looked up to and just kind of gravitated towards. Okay, this is how you need to be. You need to start being able to constantly being on the move and doing that in that direction.
Yeah.
And so being able to see them do that, and then kind of go back to, okay, what about myself do I need to change to get there?
Yeah.
It helped me.
Right on, man. Outside of building and leading, who is Josh?
The guy that will help you and not ask for anything in return. Like that's just,
You just do it.
I'll just do it. Like, and that's fine.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, earlier it's funny because you said you were talking about having kids or whatever. You said, you know, maybe I'm selfish or something. I think you're a very giving person. And I've written this whole piece about like, I think people misunderstand what self-centered means, selfish, and selfless mean. Because to me, selfless means, I'd suggest giving from a place of depletion. Selfish is taking what you can get. But I think it's something proud. I think it's important to be a self-centered person because you're centered in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the key right there. And like people frame it as if it's a negative thing, but I believe self-centered is something totally different than people usually portray it to be. And so just sitting with you for this couple hours, you seem like a very self-centered person in a very positive way, but also very giving and, I wouldn't suggest selfless because you're giving from a place that you can. Yeah. Yeah. And you're able to impact on a deeper level. Yeah. So I think with where you're at and what you're willing to do for others, you're able to just keep having an impact rather than giving from a place of depletion and just, it may stop there because you're done. You gave your last bit. So I appreciate that about you, man. That's awesome. Yeah, of course. Yeah. As we close up here, God, I could ask you so many more questions, dude. We might just have to do this again.
We'll do it again.
You did say you've lived a blessed life. I want to understand what that means because that can mean a lot of things. Is it gratitude? Is it faith? Or?
Yeah, I think it's more gratitude. I have faith. I'm not a super religious person, but I do have faith. And so I think I talk to God. I talk to God in my own way. I don't go to church. I don't believe in a specific religion, but I do talk to God.
Yeah, of course.
And whether it's through him or the power he's given me or the power that I've just been bestowed upon by my parents, it's gotten me where I am. So I'm just very thankful.
Yeah.
Thankful of everything that I've been through, good and bad, because it's kind of put me where I've always been good at learning from situations that weren't good.
Yeah.
I know some people have a really hard time with that, and they see failure as a horrible thing. And again, I don't mind failure. I've just been lucky enough to have more wins than failures through my life. And so I'm okay with failure.
I don't think people talk about that enough, is that oftentimes the worst things that happen to you are the best things to happen for you.
Yeah.
It's just all perspective.
It's all perspective.
And just like you, man, I think that's one of the things that keeps me going along the way, is because I'm able to be grateful and maintain gratitude. And when you're constantly in a state of gratitude and you can recognize that, that fuels the drive so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, and going back to even nursing, I've seen Psych, I've seen Hospice, and like I'm in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
I've seen the worst of the worst and where you can be. And I'm again grateful of where I am.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Last thing, real quick, before I ask my final question.
Yeah.
Josh, where can people find you? Where can people show you guys support?
Yeah, so come check out OptimizeU Centers on Instagram. That's our main page. We've got, again, 39 locations from California to Florida, so we're coast to coast, actually.
Dang.
OptimizeUCenters.com is our website. Check us out. If you are having troubles with your hormones, energy levels, you're like, something's not right.
Yeah.
Just, it. I'm telling you, if you think it's correct. So just come in, let's take a talk. Let's talk a little bit. Let's get some live work done, and let's just see where you're at. Let's have a conversation.
For sure.
Yeah.
Final question, Josh. What is your relentless pursuit?
The continuation of my life at this point. My relentless pursuit is to continue the life that I have, and now help other people get to the same place.
Right on, man. Beautiful. Thank you for that.
All right, brother.
Josh, thank you for being here. I'm going to shake your hand real quick. Guys, go show him some love.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Till next time. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned in this show, and honestly in life, is that healing doesn't live in just one lane. Some people find it through addiction recovery, some through therapy, some through faith, some through hard conversations that they've avoided for years, and some for finally being honest about what they're carrying. I started this show to give people a voice, to share real journeys, real struggles, and real growth. And what it's shown me is how many people are walking through similar battles, even if it looks different on the surface. Through this platform, I've been connected with people across so many lanes: addiction recovery, mental health, veterans and first responders, faith, marriage and relationships, trauma, and everything in between. I want to say this clearly. If you're listening right now and you're struggling, please reach out. You don't need to know exactly what you need. You don't need the right words. You don't have to even know exactly where to start. But through my network, I'll do everything I can to get you connected with the right person in the right lane for where you are. That's what this show is about. Real stories, real connection, and reminding people that there is a way forward.